Hi everyone, it's Justine. France has been famous for its perfume industry for hundreds of years. Specifically, a town in the south of France called Grasse. It has the perfect climate to grow many different types of flowers used in perfumes, and it has several of the most famous perfume houses historically. You know, I love perfume. I think it's an essential part of any outfit for the feeling and the self-confidence that wearing the right fragrance can give you. Fragrance is powerful. So now that I'm in France, I went to visit Grasse. And I learned so much that this is going to be a new video series on my channel. If you enjoy perfume as well, as much as I do, we'll be friends. I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Now, let's start with the olfactory tree, first thing. Then I'll give you examples of very famous fragrances that fit each branch of the tree, and you can find your own perfume type in there. And then I'll explain how a good perfume is made. The traditional olfactory tree has 7 branches. First, florals. Yellow flowers, white flowers, the rose family. Many flowers that you know belong in here. Mimosa, iris, lily, narcissus, jasmine, violet, orange blossom, rose, and so many more. All of these flowers exist and grow very well in the Grasse climate, and they've been used in perfume making for centuries. If you think of cologne water, for instance, it's mostly flowery fragrances that feel very fresh. Fun fact, if you buy cologne water of, let's say, rose, it's not just rose. It's still several different oils in there, blended together to create something that is balanced. Otherwise, just rose will be completely overwhelming for the nose. All perfumes you'll ever smell typically contain many different oils combined. And it's not just 5, it's like many more. Perfume making is a real job. I know because I've tried. My result was a disaster, but that's a story for another time. Then we have the fruits branch, fruity smells, mainly red fruits like blackcurrant and citrus fruits, orange, lemon, bergamot, grapefruit, etc. These are ingredients that give juice and can be squeezed. They're generally cheaper than flowers because they give more, they produce more. Then the wooden ingredients, sandalwood, patchouli, cedar, oak moss, this kind of thing. They're more intense and they last longer than, let's say, white flowers. The perfume industry typically uses these in very small doses so that they don't dominate and overwhelm the other ingredients. Then the herbs and what we call aromatic plants. Mints, all sorts of mint. Fennel, basil, parsley, everlasting, which is immortel in French. L'Occitane uses immortel a lot in their products. Lavender, rosemary, thyme, chamomile, sage, and so many more. Many of these were also used since the Middle Ages for medicine in Europe because they have good healing properties and for cooking. If you're familiar with French cuisine, you've tasted them in many different dishes. Moving on to spices. Cinnamon, pepper, all types of pepper, nutmeg, which is noix de muscade in French, ginger, coriander, etc. Here we're looking at so-called exotic plants that didn't grow in Europe and that were initially very expensive to import. Therefore, perfumes made with these ingredients were a true luxury. Now you can find them in pretty much any supermarket, at the corner, in Paris or elsewhere. Then there's a dedicated tree branch for balms, vanilla, tonka beans. Also a category that arrived in Europe later on. The perfume industry uses very high qualities of vanilla, much fresher than what you'll typically find in supermarkets. And then ingredients that come from animals, not plants. It's a small category. The most famous ingredient here is musk. This is the olfactory tree so far. Which branch of the tree do you feel more attracted to right now? Let me know down below in the comments, and then let's dive deeper. Grasse is great at growing florals and fruits because both categories need a lot of sun and warm temperature. They love it in the south of France. It's the perfect climate for these things. Then herbs, animal-based ingredients can be found a bit further away in Europe, or at least in the southern half of it. The rest of the ingredients, the so-called exotic ones, come from much further away. Their smells typically last longer than flowers and are also more intensive, so the perfumes resulting from those more exotic ingredients are heavier. Here is a famous perfume for each branch of the tree. For florals, J'adore by Dior. La Vie est Belle by Lancôme is fruity. Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel is woody. Eau Sauvage by Dior is herbal, and herbal ingredients are often used for men's fragrances, by the way. Opium by Yves Saint Laurent is the archetype, literally, of spicy. Hypnotic Poison by Dior is centered on balm and vanilla notes. And there's no animal fragrance as such. Animal notes are used more to balance out other notes, not alone, because nobody wants to smell like a goat, sort of. You get the idea. A perfume is typically built in 3 parts or 3 layers. The head notes, the heart notes, and the base notes. The head notes are pretty volatile oils. They will vanish within 30 minutes or so of putting on a perfume. The heart notes last up to 4 hours. And the base notes can last up to 24 hours in real good perfumes. And here I'm talking about perfume, not parfum, not eau de parfum, and not eau de toilette. It's not the same thing. Those are more diluted than parfum. Nowadays we wear mainly eau de toilette, and they don't last 24 hours, but taste and what's in fashion tends to change over time, and so that's the fashion right now. To give you an idea of which ingredients are used where on the scale, rose, mandarin, bergamot are typically head notes, maybe heart notes. And then cedar wood, vetiver, amber, musk are base notes most of the time. Examples. Shalimar is a very classic fragrance, which you probably heard of. It was created in 1925. The eau de parfum is heavy on the more intense branches of the olfactory tree. So head notes, bergamot, lemon, mandarin, rosemary. Heart notes, iris, jasmine, rose, patchouli, vetiver. And then base notes, very heavy there, vanilla, tonka bean, incense, sandalwood, musk, civet, ambergris, leather, this kind of thing. Now let's compare, right, with Chanel's Chance, an eau de parfum created in 2003, so almost 100 years later. Head notes, citrus notes, pink pepper. Heart notes, iris, hyacinth, jasmine. Base notes, patchouli, vetiver, white musk, vanilla. Chanel Chance is much lighter. It doesn't have incense, sandalwood, leather, etc. It's using some of the Shalimar heart notes as base notes. Shalimar and Chance are 2 fragrances really created almost 100 years apart, and so they really fit what was in fashion then versus now. At the end, perfume making remains an art, and it's still the same art over the centuries, but we do have more and more ingredients at our disposal versus in the past. More on this in the next video of this series. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for your support as always. And if you're like, no, I want more right now though, right now, I don't want to wait for the next video, then you can watch this one linked here and down below on the 8 most iconic perfumes of all times. That video already has over 2,700 comments of people saying, no, my perfume is more iconic than these. It's a fun conversation because we all have quite a personal relationship to fragrance and to the memories they bring up for us, right? I'll see you in the next one, and until then, take care. Bye. Shalimar and Chance. Moss? Book moss. They're more intense and long. English names. No, don't say that.